Hey guys, welcome back to Arsenal Career Mode. Haven't said this line for so many months. And of course, the last time we did something like that was back in May. I believe it was pretty much my review on the 2021-2022 season. But of course, what I'm going to talk about right here, it's pretty much really based on what's happening right now with Arsenal. And of course, I think I did mention about this segment of the video where I'm going to just mainly talk about, especially for this episode, I'm going to just mainly talk about the transfer activity so far for Arsenal, how I view them, and how do I, how would I react, how would I see them. It's pretty much my perspective on the game. And of course, right now, at the same time, in the background, I'm actually trying to revive this career mode again. I'm actually reviving this career mode by just playing the Champions League. And of course, we are in the same group draw against RB Leipzig, Prague Sylvia, and also Ajax as well. So of course, pretty much the main goal for this to finalize this career mode is just trying to win the Champions League. Of course, it feels a little bit off the fact that I started this career mode without winning the Champions League. It's a little bit upsetting. Yeah, this is technically the third season, but I just gotta do it. I have to do it. There's no way I'm gonna leave my PS4, the last FIFA that I'm gonna play on PS4, without a Champions League trophy. So I just need to do that. Last time we did play against PSG, unfortunately, we got smashed pretty hard back then, and we couldn't win. And I thought, you know what, I'll just call it right there. But again, I felt like because of the CF career mode that I did, and I won a quadruple with that team, I felt like if I won a quadruple with that team, there's no way I am not going to win the Champions League. And therefore, I decided to make a comeback. And you know what? I'm trying to play just the Champions League, whether we in the qualification and the group stage, and of course, however we made it as far as we think we can be, like quarterfinals, semifinal, round of 16, final, and stuff like that. But that would be in the next episode. But again, just enjoy the footage behind you or on the screen, and just listen to my perspective in terms of how I see the transfer. So of course, the first one, I believe, the first confirmation of the transfer activity is actually Marquinhos from Sao Paulo. Again, nobody knows who this guy is, but of course, based on the highlights from Sao Paulo, seems to be a very, very good player, a very young talent as well. But you know what, at the same time, very inexperienced. He is only 19, 20-year old. The fact that he was traveling with the first team to the States for the Florida Cup, or just for the U.S. tour, I know. And when you think about it, he is definitely going to be featured in some of the games in this season, 2022-2023 seasons. But we gotta wait. And of course, by the time I'm recording this, it's August 13th, which means he already made 2 youth appearances for under 23, and of course, scoring 3 goals and assisting 1. Seems to be a very good player. And you know what? Of course, I know Edu is trying to build that strong connection between the British base and also the Brazilian base as well. And of course, hopefully in the future, when Sao Paulo generates more talents, they're gonna they're gonna come to Arsenal eventually and shine. Same as Martinelli, to be honest. I forgot which team he played for, but again, Martinelli is a great example in terms of scouting a player, signing a player from Brazil, and takes Martinelli a year or two to get used to the Premier League experience. But of course, a 3.5 million, I believe, for Marquinhos is pretty good business, but a very good investment as well. I'm sure if nothing worked out, I think he would be a profit for a team as well. And of course, Arsenal is pretty much famously really, really bad in terms of selling its player. And of course, there's a whole thread on Twitter saying or describing how Edu is so bad at selling players. But honestly, in terms of that, of course, Edu was hired as the first ever technical director in Arsenal. And of course, by the time he handed these players, and these players are pretty much on high wages, not performing well. For example, Socrates, Mustafi, Kolasinac, all players like that. And of course, the majority of players scouted from Safan. I forgot his name, but like the famous Dortmund scout. Of course, all the players that scouted apparently has all left the club as well. And of course, it shows how far we have gone within how much the club has transformed within 2-3 years. Again, 3 years ago, it would have been a different squad. It was a different squad, to be honest, with David Luiz, Mustafi, Kolasinac, with Özil, Aubameyang as well, Lucas Torreira, Guendouzi. And think about it, like the fact that I mentioned all these names, they're all gone. I believe there are definitely more, but I'm not gonna cover in this video. But we're moving on to the next signing that we did, the official signing. Of course, I believe is Matty Turner. Again, American goalkeeper. Don't know much about him. I heard he is a very good shot stopper. That's all I know. I'm not quite sure about his distribution. Of course, I've seen the highlights again for him against Nürnberg in the German tour. Again, giving up the first shot wasn't. But honestly, haven't been really impressing a lot of people. But the fact that it was quite of a huge, I would say it's a very huge pressure, huge gamble. The fact that you sell Bernd Leno to Fulham, and of course signing Matty Turner. And Matty Turner is not a Premier League proven goalkeeper, but arguably, the Americans produced best goalkeepers that they have. Tim Howard, Brett Fiddle, Brad Keller. And of course, these players are, legends in the Premier League. But of course, hopefully Matty Turner will prove them wrong. But so far, he has yet to make an appearance because we only played 2 games already in the season, which means I'm pretty sure Matty Turner will definitely turn up for Europa League and of course the Carabao Cup as well. I'm looking forward to actually watch him play. To see, I really do hope that he turns out to be a decent signing. I'm not expecting him to be like, oh my god, world class and stuff. He's 27. He might be entering the prime of his career, but I really hope that he's going to be a good signing because giving up Bernd Leno for him, and of course I understand Bernd Leno is looking for a regular first team football because he is wanting to go to the World Cup. So you know what, totally fair. So I really do hope that Arsenal make a good, make a good gamble. And of course, the third signing I believe is Fabio Ferreira. Again, a signing that came out of the blue. Again, never heard of this guy before. Of course, he played for Porto. He kind of stepped up for Porto in the Portuguese league since Luis Diaz has gone to Liverpool and Vieira has started to actually perform very well. I believe he recorded nine goals, probably less than that, but 16 assists as a playmaker. As number 10, he can sometimes play on the right hand side, rotating between Bukayo Saka and himself is quite crucial. But again, I think it's a good signing. 35 million for him. Seems to be a very good player. I've definitely seen a few highlights of him playing against Liverpool or just playing in this league. Again, when you are a young player, 35 million, and had European football experience, 35 million is definitely not a lot of money. But of course, his mission is pretty much trying to push Martin Odegaard. Last season, Martin Odegaard was the only player who played at central attacking midfielder. And Smith Rowe did the same thing, but I generally think that Smith Rowe, it's much better. It's a much better player on the left flank instead of central attacking midfielder. I can just, in terms of creativity, I can just tell, to be honest. So Fabio Ferreira, his job is pretty much trying to push or provide a very healthy competition between himself and also Odegaard, and hopefully it pushes Odegaard to a different level of a central attacking midfielder. Yeah, he is the captain, but doesn't mean that you will be starting every game despite having a bad run of form. But of course, if Vieira plays better than Odegaard and Odegaard, has to be on a bench, so be it, because I really do believe that this Arsenal squad that we have needs to have a rotation like that, a healthy rotation, healthy quality of depth. Fourth signing that we made, I believe. Well, I think one of them was part of it is uh, Austin Trusty again, American center back. Apparently, he made his first few games for Birmingham. Did pretty well. That's all I heard. But of course, the fourth notable signing that we have was Gabriel Jesus again. We have been praising for this guy. We have been looking for number 9. We have been looking for a player who can constantly score goals. Of course, it was quite a torture having Lacazette there. But of course, Lacazette is not completely useless in terms of his job or his position. But again, it was just not for like I said anymore. He is, like 29, 30, but he's that different type of profile player. Again, he is not as fast, but you know what? His work rate, it's very admirable for sure. Often inspire other people around him as well. Of course, he did make a very big step up when Aubameyang left the club or got stripped over his captaincy. But again, I think, like I said, did a good job. But again, we need a fresh start. 25-year-old Gabriel Jesus, Premier League proven winner. He would bring a winning mentality into the team. And I really do want, of course, that is something that Arsenal do need. A very experienced 25-year-old, again, entering his prime. So, a good signing, 45 million, only 1 year off his contract. The fact that he has attracted a lot of clubs around Europe, including Chelsea and I believe Real Madrid as well. But of course, he chose Arsenal for his own reason. Thank God, not having Champions League football is not really his main concern, which is honestly, I really love to hear that because again, which means that Arteta is doing something right. Arteta is very convincing as manager, and of course, they used to work together. Again, Gabriel Jesus has to be probably one of the best signings that we had in years. It reminds me of Alexis Sanchez, the hype that he got, and of course the quality he shows as well. Moving on pretty much to the last signing, Zinchenko again. We had a huge bidding war with Man United for Lisandro Martinez, but of course today they lost to Brentford 4-0, and of course it seems like Lisandro Martinez having trouble playing against Ben Mee. Thank God we didn't sign him. I think ideally Lisandro Martinez wants to play as a center back, but I don't think right here in the Premier League it's gonna fit. But the fact that Arsenal is looking for a left back, loaning Tavares out, I think it's a very good piece of business for sure. Again, I feel like I'm saying with other people, he is Tavares is pretty inconsistent at times. But I certainly do believe that there is a player in him that we haven't seen yet. And of course, for him to go out on loan to Marseille, it's a big move for him. And of course, hopefully, getting that type of weekly football is very important for him. Hopefully, he come back much stronger, completely different player. And in terms of the left back area in the future, it's going to be very interesting, but it's not really a concern for now. But Zinchenko, of course, coming in, providing competition for Kieran Tierney. Again, Kieran Tierney, I love that guy, but the fact that he only appeared 56% of the game since he joined, which is quite troubling in terms of his injury record and his future as well. But signing Zinchenko, playing as the left back, left wing back, inverted left back, whatever you guys call, definitely brings a lot of gains, a lot of benefits to the club as well. The fact that how we play, when we attack, we play a 2-3-5-1 formation where we have two inverted wide back, Ben White and of course Zinchenko, providing more of an option in the middle for creativity, which I love that. And of course Martinelli, Xhaka, Odegaard, and also Saka can push up. So does Gabriel Jesus. But again, Zinchenko, again, a great signing. Thank God we pulled out the deal on Lisandro Martinez. A 35 million pounds. It's a very, very good, I would say it's a very, very good business for sure. Especially, I think Zinchenko has 2 years left on his contract, but it seems like Pep doesn't really have a plan for him. And thank God, Zinchenko is an Arsenal fan through and through, so it doesn't really have to convince him to sign with the club. And of course, that's pretty much all the 5 signings that we had so far. Of course, 3 of them has yet to make any any appearance for sure. But at the same time, Saliba again feels like a new signing. You know, he signed from Saint Etienne or something like that, a French team. I think he used to be in the same team with Fofana. But with Saliba seems like a new signing again. I did praise him in the previous episode, not episode, but in the previous Arsenal match day review. Again, seems to be very calm on the ball. I love it. Again, it seems like a new signing. Turns out he's 20. We signed him 3 years ago. Who would have thought he went out on loan for 3 years in a row? And turns out he came back like a man. He came back with, like great skills, a much more mature person in general, and of course a very calm and professional football player. That's something that we really do want. And of course, we made a few outgoings as well. Torreira is gone for $6 million for Galatasaray, and Bernd Leno was gone. Who else? Balogun is gone. Tavares is gone. Pablo Maria is gone as well. And I believe there are a few more outgoings going on. Of course, Bellerin is about to have his contract terminated. Totally fair. Again, I don't really quite see Bellerin in the squad anymore. So I think that was a good move. But you know what? If the fact that Bellerin decided to take a pay cut to terminate his contract with Arsenal, you know what? You got to give it to him again. This guy is definitely not going to be featuring another Arsenal game ever again, so really do hope that he's going to go. Maitland now seems to be leaving as well. Reece Nelson, apparently he has been giving another chance at Arsenal, but he picked up an injury, a quad injury, which kept him out for another 2 months, I think. Pepe seems like another player that looks to be leaving, but we don't really hear a lot of rumors. But we heard about Newcastle wanted to sign him for 25 million, but it's all rumors and stuff. Right now, Arsenal just need to sign 2 more players for sure. I believe it's the same thoughts to other Arsenal fans as well. Yuri Tillemans would be perfect in that number 8 role, rotating between himself and Xhaka as well. Again, Xhaka doesn't really have the capability of playing that role. Of course, he did a good job for sure, but we need him to do a great job. But of course, based on how Xhaka plays the game, it's different. So we definitely do need another type of profile in that area. And of course, another winger who would be fantastic. Of course, we have been linked with Cody Gakpo, but he seems to be going to Manchester United. And of course, we also had a connection with Yeremy Pino from Villarreal. But again, it's all rumors and talks. Hopefully, we still have approximately 2.5 weeks to go in terms of a transfer window. Hopefully we sign more players, because we at the same time we are pretty much come to a close to this career mode. Again, not to this career mode, to this episode. The next episode will be pretty much the final version of it, and this is pretty much the video where I just play all the qualification game. Again, we qualified, winning all 6 games. Again, very big score as well. And I don't really care about the Premier League or the other cup games, but the Premier League is going to be interesting, because if I sim the games, I hope is good enough for me to still be the manager, despite we are at second, 9 points behind Man City. But we will have to see. Hopefully in the next episode we will win the Champions League. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in a bit.